This video should help you with your assignment 1.03, Building Functions from Functions. The first type of problem that we have here is, well, they're all composite functions. So when we deal with a composite function, that means putting functions within functions, you have to look at the instructions first. It's very, very, very important. I could take the same problem and put different instructions on it and make 4 or 5 different problems. So let's look at what it says here. It says find f of g of x. So notice that the g of x is inside the parentheses of the f. What that means is take whatever is in the g of x, that entire function, and put it into the f function. So my f of x function, according to what I'm given here, is the square root of x plus 9. But because the g of x is where the normal x would go, right here, notice how g of x goes in for x. That means instead of having x right here, I'm going to replace the x with what's in g, which is 11x minus 8. I'm still going to leave that plus 9 because it's a part of that f of x. And so really, without the parentheses, it's just basically 11x minus 8 plus 9 underneath that radical. Well, here I've got like terms. Negative 8 plus 9 is 1. So I'm left with the square root of 11x plus 1. And that would be my f of g of x. As simple as that. Now here is a little bit different because notice the f and the g are together in the parentheses. Just like when you have something like 2x, the idea is that it's 2 times x. So fg is really the same thing as f times g. So that means you need to take your f function, which is 3x squared, and you're going to multiply it by your g function, which is 11x minus 8. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to distribute like you would anything else. 3x squared times 11x, so 3 times 11 is 33, and x squared times x is x to the third. And then 3 times negative 8 is negative 24, and then it's just x squared. So f times g of x is equal to 33x to the third minus 24x squared. This one, again, you always got to look at the directions. I kept the same functions that I did this previous last problem. But this time I'm told to do f plus g of x. And what that means is I'm just going to add my 3x squared, my f of x, to my g of x, which is 11x minus 8. There are no like terms to combine, so that's just my answer right there. Of course, I'm going to put the proper notation, f plus g of x is equal to the 3x squared plus 11x minus 8. As simple as that. This one, it's kind of tough on the computer, but it probably will look more like this on your end, f over g. Remember, that means division, so it's f divided by g. So we'll need to do 3x plus 1, because that's my f of x, divided by the g of x function, which is 11x minus 8. Okay, there are no ways I can reduce this any further. I'm just looking, so I'm good there. But because I have a denominator, I need to put my exclusions. Remember how we talked about this in the previous lessons? You need to set it equal to 0. We'll add 8 to both sides. And 11x is equal to 8. Divide both sides by 11. And x is equal to 8/11. So here's my answer, would just be the, if we put it correctly, would be f of g, or f divided by g of x is equal to 3x plus 1 over 11x minus 8 that we did earlier, but x cannot equal 8/11, or it won't function. And you just put them together just like that. So you're going to be asked to do something where you have to create a function that makes another function. So you're kind of going backwards of what we just did. So they're giving you the total function here, y equals 13 over x to the fifth plus 9. If you ever heard the expression, there's more than one way to skin a cat, there's more than one way you could do this. I'm just going to show you a way that I would like to look at it for me. What I need to create basically is there's my composite function. I'm looking to create f of x, and I'm also looking to create the g of x that would produce that composite function. Okay, so your instructions may say f of g of x. It may give you g of f of x. It's very important that you pay attention to that because it's which function goes into which. So I'm going to do f of g of x. I just wrote it up here, meaning I need to take whatever is in g and put it in f. So what I look for when I'm backwards planning these is where's the x? Right here. And I like to make that my g of x function. And then I would get rid of that and replace it with the original x that I replaced and make it 13 over x plus 9. So now if I were to plug them in, my f of x function is 13 over x plus 9. My g of x is x to the fifth, so I would just simply replace it with x to the fifth. And all of a sudden that becomes my f of g of x. And if you ended up with g of f of x, you could take the same idea and simply reverse them, and you would have your answer. And that is all you need to know for this section. Good luck.